Hey there, Living Kinetics Wolfpack, Raph King, back again with you today. Today we're going to go over a little technique for all my friends who do a lot of standing throughout their day. It's super simple to get into some bad habits as you're doing one static motion throughout your day, whether it's lots of sitting, lots of standing, lots of really any motion. So let's get into making sure that we're encouraging good posture throughout our day instead of leading ourselves into some really poor habits. So this is called the spinal bracing sequence. It's really simple to do, and I encourage you to do it anytime that you're standing. So let's get started. We're going to start with the feet, and we're going to work our way up towards the head. And of course, we have lovely Miss Audie here today to help us out with our little tutorial. So starting at the feet, a lot of times we start with shoulder width apart. Today we're going to start hip width apart, okay? So or a fist or two in between the feet. But really, I want those heels right under where the hips would be sitting at. Now, not just that, but let's look at the alignment of the feet here. Oftentimes, a lot of us turn our feet out, right? We get that kind of duck foot going on. This is kind of a way to compensate for balance and for hip instability. So we're going to work through that a little bit though. And I want you to take your toes, point them forward, but not just that, but I want you to look at the outsides of your feet, right? Where basically the bone that leads up to your pinky toe. Those bones there, I want you to line those up. It might make you feel like you're a little pigeon-toed, right? Like the feet or toes are going inwardly. That's okay. That's okay. We're going to work with this in a second here. So after this, what I want you to do is I want you to imagine screwing your feet into the ground, screwing your feet into the ground. What we're doing here is we're getting the knees to align with the ankles. This is incredibly important because of the type of joints that both of these joints are. Now we're going to work with the pelvis. Real simply, I want you to squeeze your glutes, right? Just squeeze your glutes. You might actually notice a pretty drastic change in your the angle of your pelvis as you do this. Let me show you from a side angle. So naturally, I have an anterior tilt to my pelvis, right? I'm kind of exaggerating it here, but you can see how my pelvis wants to tilt forward. Now, just from aligning everything and squeezing the glutes, the pelvis levels out. And this is a wonderful thing, right? We have a very active way of encouraging good posture from the waist down, just from like a minute of this. But moving on from there, the glutes are going to set the pelvis. The abs are going to help brace it. You always want a little bit of tension in your abdominal area. This is going to help brace the spine and brace all the movements that you perform. Let's go ahead and keep moving up. From here, I want to make sure that there's not a whole lot of deviation from my rib cage to my pelvis. Pelvis, rib cage. They almost act as two bowls, and I want those bowls to line up with each other as best as possible. I don't want to be hunching too far forward. This is not good alignment of my pelvis and rib cage. And I certainly don't want to be leaning too far backwards, which can happen when we have that anterior tilt to the pelvis. I really want these locked, stabled, and leveled as best as possible. And again, just that little hand placement can show you a lot about the position of your rib cage and pelvis. We know the pelvis is level, we just need to line up the rib cage with it. Once we have that, and that can actually be encouraged with our next step as well. We're going to align the shoulders, collarbone, and make sure we don't have this big medial rotation to the shoulders here, which can encourage bad position of the rib cage. What we're going to do here is we're just going to take those, I'm going to turn the palms out as best as we can right here. You're going to feel a little stretch right along the collarbone area. That's awesome. That's perfect. Deep breath and exhale. And as you exhale, I want you to draw your shoulder blades down towards your pelvis. This is going to encourage nice low shoulders that are externally rotated and good position of the rib cage. Now from here, we only got a couple steps left. Hang in there with me. We're going to go ahead and relax at the elbows, and we're going to let the palms fall in. Thumbs should be forward, okay? And notice I don't let the whole chain collapse in when I do that. I just want from the elbows down to relax. And again, I don't I'm not trying to protrude the chest out. This the exaggeration of good posture can happen. You just want to do what you can work with for now. So again, drawing the shoulder blades down is essential there. We got one last step after this, and it comes with the head. Oftentimes with the head, we get this forward type of motion. It happens. Whether you're driving a lot, working at a computer, or you're doing a lot of massage therapy, literally doing anything in front of you, the head, the eyes, they want to see it. So it's important that we retrain that. We have everything else leveled. All we need to do is push the head back. Make sure that the ear is as in line with the shoulder as possible. And again, this can be deceiving if we allow our shoulders to roll forward, because what's the first thing we're going to do? Let our head jut forward. So shoulders back, push that head back. And you should end up with something like this, which is a pretty good start. Good posture is something that you need to continually work at. It does become easier though. You just have to do it every day. If you have any questions about this exercise, feel free to email us or give us a call, give us a text, anything. I'd love to help you out. And hey, I'll see you in the next video. Take care, everyone.